welcome back to the Fearless Composer. This is my third video in which I am going to explore some of my old pieces, specifically one of my string quartets, and why I stopped composing and one of the undiscovered gems that I found while I was looking this up. So I'm going to start with, this is the first movement of my string quartet. A little bit of history about this. My composing teacher decided that he wanted me to explore a little bit of the atonality space. So that was a really big push when I was doing my composing degree. And I know that it was difficult for me anyway to get into that sphere because it wasn't my jam. But I wanted to share with you what I was able to create. And then while looking at this, I discovered something that was interesting, but it was incomplete. And we'll talk about that as we get to it. So you can see that I start a little bit melodically. There's hints of dissonance. So I've set up some melodic elements that I'm going to be taking and treating in a motivic style. So this is really where I started to get a little bit more atonal. This is about as atonal as I could bring myself to do. So I was really trying to understand some of the uses of the string instruments as well. And you can begin to see how I'm using the motivic treatments of those melodic portions throughout. And you can kind of see that as I did that, of course, being the melodic and harmonic composer that I really enjoy being, I had to end it on a positive note and a very harmonic note. But you'll see that as I go through this next one, which is the third movement that I did, you'll see that it's even more atonal than the first one. But let's take a look at it and let me know what you guys think in the comments. This one I used a definite oscillator. And I use some of my counterpoint techniques that I learned in class, try to combine the melodies. Start the ostinato again. The same melody from the beginning, but a little different. Trying to create a little bit of chaos. So you can see that as atonal as I get. It wasn't more atonal than the previous one, which in my head I thought it was, but after listening to it again, it wasn't really. But what was interesting about it is it allowed me to explore some various other aspects of strings and specifically of harmonies and how they play together. Now what I want to share with you is one that I started as a fourth movement to this, but I wasn't able to finish it, or I chose not to finish it. And that was largely because of the constraints of the program at the time. So remember in some of my past videos where I mentioned that during my composing program that I was required to recruit players to be able to play at any various time. And so as I was writing this, it was really a fun one to start writing, but I remember that my professor advised me to stop or to be careful continuing on in this one because I would not be able to get players to play it because of how difficult it was. I chose to explore some very interesting rhythms on this one. And you see that I have a different bar time signature of 12/8 plus 2/4. Second part that I was going to start, or very West Waltz feel. Then I ended it. I want to know what happens, but I don't know. To be honest, I don't know that I even remember writing this, but one thing I do know is that it was fun, and I liked it. I liked it a lot. Kind of want to know what happened to it, so I might pick it up again here later in the future. This has just been a little introduction to me and to trying to rediscover pieces that I once knew and composing experiences that I once had. Just a step in my journey, so please come and follow me for the rest. My next step for my next video, so please like and subscribe to The Fearless Composer.